Hi, gang, it's Adam.
And Patrick.
Coming up on today's episode, we share some listener feedback, cover the latest Disney news, and list our Fab Five most anticipated attractions, films, and shows coming to Disney parks and media in 2020. As always, we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Patrick Miracle Kazuki.
Oh, Adam Kathleen Turner Hummel. It's a 4-part name.
Why are you referring to me as Kathleen Turner?
Because you've got a sultry voice today.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
But don't I every day?
No, you don't.
Oh.
No, you don't. But today you do. I think you're going to get us some more Patreon members with your sexy voice.
Who isn't attracted to this phlegm?
Raising my hand. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm currently in Disney World, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah, when this episode drops, I will still be in Disney World.
You will be.
I'll have ran a half marathon, fingers crossed. And I'll still be alive, fingers crossed.
You will still be alive.
Great.
And you will have won that half marathon.
Yeah, and by winning, you mean crossing the finish line at all.
I mean actually winning it, Patrick.
Oh,
and
good.
If you don't, don't even bother coming back.
I will never see you again. Never see you again.
You can do it.
Okay, thank you. Your confidence is disappointing and hurtful.
I should believe less in you. You're right.
Yes, please.
You're right.
Please do.
Well, I know all of our listeners will be cheering you on.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say.
And only a few of them will be wishing you a leg injury.
Wow. Only a few.
Yes.
I would have thought more.
Their names are.
Yeah.
And their Instagram handles
They've written to us. We have some shout outs.
And some new patrons, oddly enough,
weird.
who wish you harm.
Okay, great. No, that doesn't sound odd at all.
Speaking of Run Disney, Patrick.
Yas Queen.
You are going to be talking about Run Disney on another podcast.
I sure am. I'm cheating on us.
Why?
Well,
what did I do?
What didn't you do?
That's fair.
Yep. It's true. I'm going to be on the Explore the World with Matt Long podcast. He's doing a full episode based on traveling and sports. And clearly, you think of me when you think of sports.
Sporty.
It seems like a natural fit.
Athletic.
No, he was curious about traveling and doing runs while you're traveling, and specifically doing the Run Disney runs. And so he interviewed me, and I will be on one of his upcoming episodes.
He didn't ask you about basketball?
He did not ask me about basketball, but I offered a lot of tips on football. I don't know if that'll make the edit. We'll find out. Tune in, folks. We'll let you know when that drops.
Most of your thoughts were on the tight pants they wear.
Oh, and the athletic cups.
Yes.
Talking about a jockstrap, Adam. Talking about a jockstrap.
Yes, you are. On a Disney podcast. Yes, you are.
You never know what we're going to do here, folks.
Well, when can we expect that podcast to be released?
Who can say, Adam? Who can say? Probably very soon. I imagine in the next week or so.
Okay.
We'll be sure to let you know if you care to tune into it.
And for those Tweedledees that are interested in hearing about your experience on this Run Disney trip, we're going to tell you all about it on next week's episode.
Yet again.
Well,
sorry, folks.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it, but you're going to do it.
You could probably recite it from beginning to end by now.
There's always changes and things that come up, things that are different, new experiences, new thoughts you have while you're running.
I have a lot of thoughts when I'm running. Most of them require a bathroom. You have to pee when you run, Adam.
Got it. Don't you just go? Don't most runners just go?
Wow, I can't recommend you do that.
Oh.
Are you a cave person? What's going on?
I mean, if you want to hit your personal best.
Are you going right now?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I'm going right now.
We should get through this podcast very quickly then.
Well, Patrick, we owe a very belated congratulations to one of our Tweedledees, Fifi Dubois, who you can find on Instagram at Fifi Dubois DQ, which stands for Drag Queen.
Yas Queen.
Fifi Dubois got married, Patrick.
So exciting.
Congratulations, Fifi. Fifi got married at the Polynesian Resort in early December, Patrick.
Where was my invitation?
Yeah, that's a good question. Where was our invitation?
It's my very favorite resort, and you're a fabulous drag queen, and I love drag queens. Feels like you should have had me there.
Yeah, you're right.
Fifi would like to offer a sorry about it to Adam and I. Just kidding.
I was there. I was the ring bearer.
Were you?
Yeah. Yeah, I bore the rings.
Oh, you gave birth to them?
Some might call it an unconventional wedding.
Okay.
Fifi also mentioned that she and her husband on opening day got to ride Rise of the Resistance.
What?
What an exceptional story to have for your wedding.
It's probably the only thing they remember now is Rise of the Resistance.
You're right.
They're like, we got married?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I remember the Stormtroopers.
Yep.
Okay.
One too many boozy Dole Whips.
There's never too many of those, Adam. Well, congratulations, Fifi, on Rise of the Resistance. Also, your wedding.
Congratulations, Fifi.
In other celebratory news, Adam.
Yes?
We have not one, but 2 new Patreon members since our last episode.
Are they a couple again?
They are not a couple. They are 2 separate accounts with 2 separate donations.
Do they want to be a couple? What if we started setting up our Patreon members who are single?
That sounds like a disaster.
I think it sounds like a great idea. We know they love Disney.
Mm-hmm.
We know they can tolerate gay people. Right? I mean,
I
they're
would
listening
hope
to
so.
us. Yeah.
I guess you never know.
You never know.
Maybe they're paying us to stop it.
Was that in the notes section?
I didn't read the notes. I don't read notes, Adam. We know this.
How much is it going to take for you guys to stop doing this podcast? Because I'm going to pay it.
Well, we're going to find out because Chad and Cricket are our new Patreon members asking us to stop recording our podcasts.
I won't do it, Chad and Cricket.
All right. Donate more, folks.
Yeah.
You heard it here. No, thank you so much, Chad and Cricket. That is very generous of you. Of course, if you don't know, we have a Patreon page in which you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us support what we do here at Gays Do the D. You can find that on gaysdothed.com and click on that donate button to learn more.
Thank you, Chad and Cricket. We appreciate it.
So much.
Well, in the previous 2 episodes, Patrick, we've been talking about Disney New Year resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
And last week I kind of mentioned off the cuff that no ladies had written in.
It's true.
With their resolutions.
Where my ladies at?
Well, I'll tell you where they're at. They're in our DMs.
Oh.
Because Kim wrote in.
Okay.
You can find Kim on Instagram at Kim, that's with 3 M's, Chi, Kim Chi. And Kim says, Happy New Year, friends. I heard that you needed some more representation from the ladies regarding our Disney resolutions. Here are mine. Disney Plus. Work my way through all 90s TV shows that I loved growing up. Binge all of the Star Wars saga. I've never seen them. What? Never, Kim?
You got so angry just now,
You've
Adam.
never seen any of them?
Uh-oh.
She also says, watch all Pixar movies in order. I've seen them. I just love them.
Aw.
For the parks, she says, buy my first Spirit jersey.
Yas, Kim.
Gather the courage to ride Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. And become an annual pass holder.
What a lovely resolution.
Those are all great resolutions.
Absolutely. Well done. Well played.
And attainable, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know about the annual pass holder situation, but the rest of them are so relatively easy to attain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That Spirit jersey, let me know if you need some tips on the cutest ones to find, but I'm sure your style is better than mine.
And Kim, please send us a picture of yourself in your very first Spirit jersey ever.
What a lovely idea.
Yeah.
Well done, Adam. Now, last week, Adam, we had a full Questions and Peter Pantsers episode, and we got some feedback, more so answers to questions that we did call-outs for.
All I'm hearing from you is that we failed to answer the questions properly.
Well, that should just be without saying.
Okay.
We always do.
Yeah, you're
We
right.
always do. But we have the best Tweedledees in the land, and they supported us by answering better than we did.
They're doing the work for us, Patrick.
That's what Patreon's for, so we can stop working and retire. So last week, Brooke and Jeff both asked about Gay Days Orlando and what are some suggestions to do while you're there. And Brian on Instagram, he can be found at B. La Perche. Is that how you say your last name, Brian? It's sensual.
Sounds fancy.
I like it.
Yeah.
Brian wrote in and said, just listened to your Peter Panthers episode and wanted to recommend my favorite Gay Days Orlando event. I know most people want to stick to the on-property events and avoid all the parties, but Riptide at Typhoon Lagoon is the perfect blend of the two. The entire water park is rented out for the night to let gays frolic about in their gay-thing suits. That's hilarious. Consider that stolen.
Yep.
Ride the lazy river and slide down some slides. I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that.
Yep.
I don't really like loud dance parties, but Riptide is nothing like that. You can spend the night dancing in the dance area if you want, but I spent most of the night taking advantage of the water slides with next to no wait and meeting new people while floating along the lazy river. It's the most fun my husband and I have had at a gay event ever. The best part is that Disney World employees still work in the park and seem to really like working the event. We specifically remember one 60-year-old park attendant grinning from ear to ear, wishing all the boys in their Speedos to have a magical day.
Ooh.
I bet you were, sir. I bet you were. Or ma'am. I guess I don't really know.
Oh, yeah.
We're planning on going again this year and bringing our whole gaggle. I love it. Wonderful answer.
I didn't even think about events at the water parks.
Oh, for sure. You and I don't really go to the water parks while we're there, do we?
We don't, because I would require one of those old-timey bathing suits with like the straps over the shoulders.
You would look fetching in one of those.
And the kind of like Pugsley Adams stripes on it. I mean, that's really what I want.
Yeah.
And then like a very sensible caftan cover-up.
Oh, it's your comfort outfit.
Yeah.
I like it. It's like when you put a dog in a tight vest so they are soothed.
It's just like that, Patrick.
No? You disagree? What are they called? Thunder vests? Adam, put your thunder vest on. We're going to the pool.
Hey, whatever provides the most coverage.
Okay. I thought maybe it was because you were afraid of the water, like I am.
No, I love the water.
Oh, I like the water, but Patrick doesn't swim very well.
I can teach you.
Okay, thank you.
I can teach you how to swim better.
Thank you so much.
I like that Brian felt compelled to point out that Disney World employees still work in the park for this event.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just going to bail. Can you imagine a gay event with no supervision?
Yeah, that's my basement every Thursday night.
There would be no bathing suits.
That's my basement every
Bathing
Thursday night.
suit optional in your basement every Thursday night. I love it.
Bathing suit optional.
Well, thank you, Brian, for that suggestion for Brooke and Jeff. I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. I appreciated it.
Also last week, Eddie and Irving asked what Disney movie should have its own land and what would be the e-ticket attraction for that land. And Rob, who you can find on Instagram at zippity-doo-dah-days, said, I'm going to say Fantasia would be a good source for a new land. Imagine how music would be playing everywhere. Possible attractions to include updated Mickey's PhilharMagic, Primeval World ride-through using Omnimover technology and following the outline of the Rite of Spring section of Fantasia, updated with current scientific understanding, dark ride based on the Nutcracker Suite section, combining physical props and animation similar to the Alice in Wonderland ride at Disneyland, upscale restaurant based on the Pastoral Symphony section with centaurs, cherubs, etc., and plenty of wine.
Obviously.
I love that idea, by the way.
It's a really great idea.
It'd be so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
A night on Bald Mountain coaster, similar to Disneyland's Matterhorn, flying into and out of the mountain and periodically facing Chernobog and various ghosts, witches, and harpies. And Rob goes on to say, this could be the e-ticket attraction, but I have another idea in mind too. And he went on to explain an elaborate The Sorcerer's Apprentice coaster.
Ooh.
Fabulous.
That's a wonderful idea.
I love the idea of a Fantasia land.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of lends itself to the music and the beauty and the storytelling, and each ride could be a portion of the film.
You could potentially update it using new music if they do more Fantasia interpretations.
Absolutely.
I love this. Wonderful idea.
Yeah, Rob, if you need investors, don't come to us, but
Start a Patreon.
start a Patreon.
Last but not least, Spencer asked last week for thoughts on live action The Little Mermaid, and Matt from Instagram, MattTBR, wrote in and said, I was laughing so much at your answers to this question. Thank you so much for that. Personally, I'm also hoping Ariel's mom, Joyce, isn't dead, but has actually been turned into one of the polyp creatures in Ursula's garden. Ooh. Also, to Adam's thought about who might play Vanessa, Halle Bailey has a fraternal twin sister named Chloe, who was also an actress. They're on Grownish together, yes they are, who I'm convinced is playing Vanessa, since she's supposed to look similar to Ariel but not identical. Chloe and Halle are both hilarious actresses and incredible singers, so it would be really fun to see them play enemies in the new Little Mermaid. What a wonderful observation.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, I hope you're right.
It seems like they would at least pursue that idea, right?
You would think.
Yeah.
Matt, you're smarter than we are.
I know. That's an incredible thought.
Yeah, for sure. I hope they do that. If not, they're probably just going to use her as herself.
Or what about me?
Or Adam as her.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of Halle Bailey-ish.
I see it.
Thank you.
I see it when I close my eyes.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, I think that's an incredible idea. And also his idea that Ariel's mom is one of the polyp creatures in Ursula's lair.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, too.
Yeah, that's very haunting.
Because then at the end, should the ending be the same and Ursula not win, all of the polyp creatures, you know.
And then there's her mama.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
She's back. Did you know they actually address why Ariel's mom is not present in the sequel to The Little Mermaid?
I did not know that. I actually have never seen that sequel.
Either have I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what the answer is then?
No.
Oh, okay.
Tweedledee Derek, who you can find on Instagram at Boy Who Has Everything, wrote in to tell us that they do address it in the sequel. And I said, don't tell me anything. I don't want to know.
Interesting. Because you're going to watch it or because you just don't want to know what they did with it?
At some point, I'm going to watch it. And maybe even on this podcast, we should do a segment where we review straight-to-video sequels. Because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And I honestly have not seen any of them, I don't believe.
I don't think I've seen many of them, if I've seen any. Well, kudos to everyone who wrote in. Those were amazing suggestions and answers and questions and all of the above. Well done this week, folks. Adam, I'm sure you'll be very happy to hear we have an anniversary to talk about this week.
The 2-week dry spell is over.
It's over, folks. But we only have one.
Okay, I'll take it.
So turning 29 years old, released on January 18th, 1991, White Fang.
I don't think I've seen this.
Oh, it's a really good movie, actually, starring a very young, very handsome Ethan Hawke.
Oh, I think I have seen this. Yeah, I think I have. Man, there's a lot of dogs in the snow movies with like...
I mean, it was a very classic book.
No,
first.
I know that.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I know that. But what's the one that's coming out with Harrison Ford this year?
Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but it looks really terrible, in my opinion.
The dog looks just awful, like too cartoony and weird. And
yeah, he was straight from The Lion King, I think.
No, he was far too expressive to be from The Lion King. Like he's like,
oh. Yeah, I don't know what that movie is trying
Call
to
of
do.
the Wild. Isn't that the name of the movie?
I have no idea. I
think
blocked
so.
it.
Also a famous book.
Okay.
All those dogs.
All those dogs.
We got the one coming to Disney Plus, too, with Willem Dafoe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We've got Snow Dogs.
We do have that.
Also a Disney movie.
Yeah, and all of its sequels.
So all that to say, happy anniversary to White Fang. Speaking of the snow, Adam, it's very cold out right now.
It's 13 degrees.
It's 13 degrees. Real feel, I believe, is 5.
Real feel.
It's on AccuWeather, the real feel. It's a thing.
Of course it's a thing.
I love that they do real feel.
What's the real feel?
5. It's 5, Adam.
Instead of just saying feels like.
It's actually trademarked, too.
It sounds like something I would have come up with. What's the real feel?
You wish you came up with it.
I do.
So all this to say, it's cold.
Yeah.
I want to go to bed. I have to wake up in 6 hours to get on a flight. Can we please get to the news?
Yes.
Thank you.
On Sunday, January 5th, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association hosted the 77th Annual Golden Globe Awards, and Walt Disney Studios and Pixar walked away empty-handed. Yeah. The Lion King, Toy Story 4, and Frozen 2 were all nominated for Best Motion Picture Animated, but lost to Laika's Missing Link. Did you see Missing Link?
I didn't.
I haven't either.
I heard really good things about it, so
Okay.
I think it's a deserved win.
It was worthy of the win. In addition, Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez were nominated for Best Original Song Motion Picture for Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, as were Timothy McKenzie and Ilya Salmanzadeh and Beyoncé for Spirit from The Lion King, but both teams lost to Elton John and Bernie Taupin's song I'm Gonna Love Me from Rocket Man.
I totally forgot that was nominated, and of course it won.
I don't remember it. Was it just an end credits song, or was it actually in the film?
I think it was in the film.
All I can hear in my mind is, I'm gonna love me from Dreamgirls, but that's not the actual words, but that's what I'm picturing in my head now.
That's not it.
I know.
Okay.
I know. Disney-owned properties Hulu and FX did score wins with Best Performance by an Actor in a Television Series, Comedy or Musical, Rami Youssef for Rami, Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role in a Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television, Patricia Arquette for The Act, and Best Performance by an Actress in a Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television, Michelle Williams for Fosse Verdon.
Ugh, so good.
So good.
Well
So
done.
well deserved. But don't feel too bad for Disney Animation because it's award season and there's always another shot at a statue just around the corner. On Tuesday, January 6th, the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, or BAFTA nominations, were announced, and both Frozen 2 and Toy Story 4 were nominated for animated film. John Williams received an original score nomination for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker also received a nomination for sound and special visual effects. Avengers: Endgame and The Lion King also received nominations for special visual effects. The BAFTA Awards will take place on Sunday, February 2nd, 2020, at the Royal Albert Hall in London and will be hosted by Graham Norton. The awards ceremony will be broadcast on BBC One in the UK and in a delayed broadcast on BBC America. On Wednesday, January 8th, legacy watchdog group GLAAD announced the nominees for its 31st annual Media Awards. The Disney Channel's Andy Mack and Disney Plus's High School Musical, the series, both received nominations for Outstanding Kids and Family Programming. High School Musical, the series nod marks Disney Plus's first original programming nomination.
Whoa.
The 31st annual GLAAD Media Awards will take place on Thursday, March 19th in New York and on Thursday, April 16th in Los Angeles. And don't forget, the Academy Award nominations will be announced the day this episode drops, so we'll have the complete list of Disney's nominees on next week's episode.
I love award season.
So many awards.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not even getting into like the technical awards,
right,
which people probably deserve, but we don't have the time or the energy to cover them.
Or the knowledge.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Patrick, what award would I be nominated for?
I believe you'll be nominated for Best Beard.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I will take that.
It's quite a beard, Adam.
Thank you.
It's always so well kept. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stroking it now.
Okay. Your beard, you mean. Disney has just announced a new membership opportunity for runners and fans of Run Disney. On Tuesday, February 18th, 2020, Club Run Disney memberships will go on sale for the 2020-2021 Run Disney season, which starts on October 1st, 2020 and ends on September 30th, 2021. 3 different membership tiers will be available with a range of benefits. Each tier will have a limited availability. Here's a quick breakdown of membership levels and pricing. The Silver membership will cost $265.43. Very specific.
Yeah, why?
Because all tiers include a 6.6% platform service fee.
That means nothing to me.
Nothing to me, but it means 43 cents to that tier, I guess. So included in this level is a member jacket, a Club Run Disney magnet, and a membership card. You will also get Tier 1 pricing year-round for available Run Disney races. You will have access to an exclusive 2020 Club Run Disney virtual 10K in October of 2020 and Club Run Disney designation on all of your race bibs during membership. The Gold membership runs $478.63. With this membership level, you will get everything that comes with a Silver membership and a guaranteed opportunity to purchase a spot in the half marathon for every race weekend and a guaranteed opportunity to purchase a spot in the full marathon in January 2021 through early registration. Lastly, the Platinum membership will cost you a whopping $798.43. Included with this level is everything from Silver and Gold and a guaranteed opportunity to purchase a spot in any one of any distances during each of the race weekends via early registration. You will also get a Club Run Disney Expo experience, which includes a Club Run Disney lounge with packet pickup and early access to the Run Disney merch shop with special character meet and greet opportunities. You will also receive upgraded corral placement. Now, as I said before, registration will be available on February 18th by visiting rundisney.com. So I have to say, I'm very torn about all of this.
Yeah.
I love a membership opportunity. As you know, I'm part of D23 Gold membership.
Yep.
I have an annual membership, but me and lots of people in the Run Disney community are very upset about this.
I totally believe that because this is just creating classes, right?
That's absolutely part of it, for sure. I think that this kind of a membership sounds amazing, but they totally missed the mark. It's so overpriced, and what you get for that doesn't really add up to much. $200+ for a jacket, a magnet, and a plastic card with your name on it doesn't really add up to me.
I mean, you also get to do a virtual 10K, Patrick.
That you have to pay for.
Right.
And none of these tiers offer discounts of any kind on the run or come with a run involved in the pricing.
Who needs
so
it?
it's an additional $100 at least for a run.
Oh, no.
And then for the top tier, you're purchasing a corral placement, which is
Cheating?
cheating.
Yeah.
It's cheating, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know, corral placement is usually based on how quickly you think you can run the full half marathon or the full marathon, or you have to submit a time if you want one of the top corral placements. And so all those people have earned their place in where they are. And now someone can just buy a place there, which seems unfair and really against what the Run Disney and any running community is about, community.
I was curious how you were going to react to this.
Yeah.
But I kind of had an inkling just based on your feelings about being able to purchase fast passes and kind of, you know, how that would establish kind of like a class system.
Yeah.
So I figured you might have this reaction to this new Club Run Disney.
It seems really divisive. I just don't like it. But all that being said, I do want that jacket.
Sure.
So...
eBay.
Great.
It's going to be on eBay for like $1,000.
Okay, that's more worth it maybe. I don't know.
Jack Cowboy Kelly may ride again at Disney.
What?
Not really. Not really. But kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. According to a January 6th, 2020 Variety article, Christian Bale is in negotiations to join Marvel Studios' Thor, Love, and Thunder. So I kind of lied before.
Okay.
But he did play that character.
Yeah, that's called baiting, Adam.
Oh, it is.
Huh?
It is. Bale, who previously appeared in Disney's 1992 live-action musical Newsies and voiced the character Thomas in 1995's Pocahontas, will potentially join Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, and Natalie Portman, who is returning to the Thor franchise for the first time since 2013 in Thor, Love and Thunder, which is slated to open November 5th, 2021. According to Variety, it's unclear what role Bale would be playing in the film. At the 2019 San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige revealed that Natalie Portman's character Jane Foster will take up the persona of the mighty Thor, like she did in a recent comic book storyline. If the film follows those comics, Foster could end up battling Kull, aka the God of Fear, and also Thor's uncle. Since each Thor movie has expanded on our understanding of Thor's family, Kull could be a strong villain for Love and Thunder, and Bale a prime candidate to play him.
Interesting.
This kind of surprised me, I have to say, because I thought Christian Bale was done with the superhero genre after the Batman franchise. But it seems like he might be willing to return.
Well, what a fun way to return as a villain instead.
Would be so fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hear he's quite a villain on the set, too, of films. So this works out well.
Well played. What?
We're back to this.
You gave such a sour look when I did that. Did not appreciate it.
It's beautiful to listen to.
Thank you so much.
It's beautiful to listen to by the actual performer, Aurora, who performed it in the film.
Wow, let's get back to the story. According to Disney, Frozen 2 is now the highest grossing animated movie of all time, bringing in a global box office payday of $1.325 billion. Now, before we continue the celebration, let's put the paw in pause for a moment and take into account The Lion King. Disney itself is not including The Lion King in its consideration of animated films, even though the entire movie was CGI and the Golden Globes categorized the remake as an animated film. So, if you want to consider The Lion King an animated film, then it would be the leader of the pack with $1.65 billion globally. But Disney doesn't do it, so I don't do it either.
Yeah, I just like to consider The Lion King just kind of boring.
I just don't consider The Lion King.
Oh.
You burnt. Sorry about it, Beyonce.
I'm sure she feels your criticism, Patrick.
She listens. She listens. She's like, Blue Ivy, come here. We're listening to Gays Do the D.
That'd be cute.
Mm-hmm. So not only is Frozen 2 the highest grossing animated film ever, it is also the third highest grossing movie of 2019, behind Avengers Endgame and The Lion King, respectively. It is also the 6th Disney film in 2019 to cross into the unknown, aka the $1 billion mark at the box office. This also puts Frozen 2 in the top 10 highest grossing Disney films ever, and the only animated film to be in that list, according to Disney, because The Lion King is number 4.
Patrick, I love Disney.
Yeah.
I love Disney.
I would hope so.
I don't know if I've made that clear on this podcast, but I love Disney.
And thank you for clearing that up.
When I hear these numbers and the kind of like domination Disney has on media and in particular at the box office, I get a little sour in my tummy.
Oh.
It's like, it's too much. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot, Disney.
Listen, this year was deserved.
Yeah, they churned out some really wonderful films.
They turned the party.
Turned the party. Hey, Patrick.
What could you possibly want, Adam? I'm drinking tea.
Remember last year?
Yeah, I do.
2019?
Weeks ago.
It was quite a year for Disney, right?
I mean, yeah.
It was huge, like just not only in the theme parks, but also in media, right? So we obviously had the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which was kind of a big deal.
Kind of.
And something that we really were looking forward to.
Kind of.
But then in media, we had incredible films like we just talked about in the news segment.
Kind of.
And the launch of Disney Plus, Patrick.
Kind of.
Okay.
No, I mean, yes, I took a day off of work when it started.
So with all of that happening in 2019, it kind of seemed like looking forward to 2020 that perhaps it might seem like a bit of a downer because there just wouldn't be that amount of activity by Disney because they had kind of, given everything they had to give to 2019.
They blew their wad.
But that's not the case, Patrick.
No.
Because there is a ton of stuff we can look forward to in the new year.
So many more wads.
So,
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I regret bringing up that phrase on the podcast a couple episodes ago because now I feel like you've embraced it too much.
I have.
Yeah, you were disgusted by it, but now you have embraced it.
I slapped it on a Spirit jersey.
Please do that.
Yep.
Please do it.
They need to make custom Spirit jerseys, don't you think?
I think it'll be coming, yeah.
In 2020,
In
maybe.
2020, yeah. Speaking of 2020,
Yes.
Getting back on track.
Here we go.
I thought it'd be a great idea for us to have a discussion, or rather list our Fab Five things that we're most looking forward to in 2020.
I love this idea.
There are so many exciting things coming to the parks and coming to Disney Media.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure Disney merchandise will give you plenty of things to look forward to in 2020.
For your nerves.
What does that mean?
It's a slogan.
Okay.
It's going to catch on.
Okay. So what do you say we kick this off? List our Fab Five things that we're most looking forward to in 2020.
I say, all right, governor. Are you looking forward to more English dialect from me in 2020?
I'm not.
Okay, didn't make your Fab Five.
It did not.
Okay, well, it
did
made
not.
mine. It made mine.
Let's just say all dialects. All dialects going forward. Not looking forward to them.
Fine.
So would you like to kick us off, Patrick, by listing your number 5 Fab Five thing you're most looking forward to in 2020?
When you stop pointing at me, I will.
Pointing at you from across the podcasting table.
You're being very aggressive, and I have
am.
nothing to do but say yes. I would love to kick us off.
Thank you so much.
And I would love to kick you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Great. So I'm going to start out with some food, Adam.
Food?
As I am wont to do.
My interest is piqued.
Is it peaked?
Yes.
Is it because it might be on your list as well?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
I have no food on my list.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Space to 2020 in 2020. So the anticipation for this restaurant has been long in the making. It was originally supposed to open in 2019, but then many delays happened, including losing executive chef Theo Schoeniger. It now sounds like it's back on track to open in February 2020.
An international space station themed restaurant coming to Epcot.
It's true. It's true.
It feels like it's going to fit right in to what is currently Future Worlds.
Absolutely. I think, like you said, it's going to fit perfectly in Epcot in general because it's a much needed sit-down restaurant in that space.
Yes.
That's not in the World Showcase.
Right.
There is, however, some mystery surrounding the restaurant. Like, what are they serving?
I'm hoping everything comes in like a silver pouch. You have to open it.
So that's how they're serving it.
Drink it with a straw.
But what's in the pouch?
Liquidated steak.
Gross.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not super excited about this restaurant anymore. It's weird because currently on the website, there's no menu whatsoever, but there is a little caption that says dining plans are not accepted. And so I don't know if that's for real or if that's just like a placeholder until they put a menu there.
Oh, interesting.
It's very interesting. In any case, the proposed theme and ambiance of the restaurant are what made me add this to my Fab Five list, it being a space station, basically.
Yeah.
And they have a really unique way you enter the restaurant. You get into an elevator, which simulates you launching into space, and then the doors open, and you're in a panoramic view of outer space, basically.
I love the idea.
I think it's so clever. It's a really, really well-designed concept art anyways, so I hope that they fully deliver on what they have shown us so far.
And I think Patina Restaurant Group is running this restaurant.
That is correct.
And based on their job postings, I know that they're looking for like a quote-unquote international crew. So you know what that means.
Hot waiters.
Hot waiters. Hot waiters with accents, Patrick.
Yes, please.
Wearing what I assume will be very tight
Oh my goodness.
silver spacesuits.
Is this an Imagining Queering episode now?
Probably.
Okay, got it.
I've taken it too far.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So that is my number 5 thing I'm looking forward to in 2020.
That's an excellent choice, Patrick, and I'm really looking forward to that too.
Thank you.
I'm a little nervous, though, about taking the elevator up to the restaurant. Like, what if it makes my tummy upset and then I can't enjoy my space pouch full of liquid steak?
They have stated they're offering over 1,000 bottles of wine to choose from,
that's
so
right.
maybe that will help you settle your tummy.
Can you get one before you go on the elevator?
I don't think you can.
So it's bring your own, just like any other day in Epcot.
That is correct.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Well, my number 5 choice for Fab Five things I'm most looking forward to in 2020 is Disney Pixar's Soul.
Aww.
It opens on June 19th, 2020, and is directed by Pete Docter and co-directed by Kemp Powers. Pete Docter, as we all know, is the chief creative officer at Pixar and directed such films as Monsters, Inc., Up, and Inside Out.
Which means we're going to cry a lot during this movie.
You're going to cry so much. We all know how I feel about Inside Out, and I'm getting an Inside Out vibe from the film.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm going to cry and cry and cry.
Yes.
The voice talent for the film is being provided by Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, one of your favorites, Patrick, Daveed Diggs, Felicia Rashad, and Questlove.
Love it.
And as I said before, just the fact that Pete Docter is behind this movie gives me a lot of hope.
Absolutely. He has such home runs within Disney and Pixar. It's really exciting to see that.
And he tends to deal with a lot bigger ideas, right? They're really great films for children because they're entertaining, but I would say his films are almost more entertaining and thought-provoking for adults.
Yeah, they're very complex pieces.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
I like it. Well done. This is, I think, on a lot of people's top 5 lists.
And in no small part because it's so unknown, right? Like we just don't really know what to expect, what kind of message the film is going to have, and where it's going to take us.
Absolutely.
I can't wait.
You're going to have to for a little bit
Yeah,
anyways.
I know.
Let's move on to our number 4s, shall we, Adam?
For real.
Wow.
We should.
Wow.
I sat in front of Patrick for a good 10 seconds coming up with that.
Worth it. Hashtag worth it. So my number 4 is also a movie coming out in 2020, Adam. Mulan. And I'm just going to leave it there.
What else do you need to say after that amazing trailer that was released?
You don't need to say anything about it, but I'll try.
Okay.
I'll try. So I'll start out with the cast. Looks absolutely amazing from what we've seen in previews. A lot of new faces, a lot of amazing classic faces like Jet Li that we haven't seen in a while. Amazing, amazing, amazing. The art direction looks incredible. The sets and the costumes all look stunning. And the music sounds so delicious.
I'm hoping this is an instance where the music in the trailer is actually incorporated into the film, and they're not just teasing us with that beautiful orchestral version of Reflection.
Who can say?
I can.
Okay, great.
Disney, please put that in the film.
Well, there you go. So from what I've been hearing and reading is that this movie seems to be the most anticipated live-action remake from Disney in a long, long time. The bar is set very high. It's going to be interesting to see them take on a musical and flip it into a non-musical, which Disney traditionally hasn't done before.
But that would have been so tricky with this film, right?
Keeping it a musical, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It would have, I think, lessened the integrity of the story they're going to try to tell us.
I agree.
So it's also exciting, of course, and I've said this many times, to see Disney produce an action adventure with an all-Asian cast and actually use Asian actors in the roles. What a surprise.
It's a risk, Patrick. It's a risk, and I hope it pays off.
Absolutely. And I'm loving this resurgence of movies and action-adventure movies with strong female leads. I'm talking about Star Wars, Maleficent just came out, now Mulan. It's great to see Disney taking that princess role and flipping it into a badass lady role instead.
Taking it from princess to prince, yes.
Prince, yes.
Although that makes it sound like prince, but we're actually still talking about women.
I think we knew what you meant.
Prince, yes. Because I'm talking about women,
Okay,
Patrick.
all right, all right. I have really high expectations for this film, and from what I've been seeing about what they're releasing slowly, it just keeps getting better and better, and my anticipation grows higher and higher for this movie.
It was between this and Soul for me on my list.
For your list at all for movies?
For movies, that was it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are the two that I'm most looking forward to in 2020.
Fantastic. Well, we've covered them all then.
I know. I'm glad you had it on your list.
You're so welcome. And it should be noted that Mulan comes out on March 27th, 2020.
That's so soon now.
It's so soon.
I can't wait for our take 2 of it.
You're going to have to.
All right, Patrick, moving on to my number 4 choice for my Fab 5 things I'm most looking forward to in 2020. I'm going to take us over to Disneyland, Patrick.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to zoom in on DCA.
Okay.
Because I'm going to talk about Avengers Campus.
I had a feeling you were going to.
Phase 1 of Avengers Campus is coming this summer 2020, which kind of blows my mind. The fact that they're working on it that quickly.
Yeah, it's true.
And as I said, it's opening at Disney California Adventure at Disneyland Resort. We know that Phase 1 is going to include a Spider-Man attraction.
We sure do.
A state-of-the-art Spider-Man attraction. And from what we know about that, it's kind of going to be, you're going to be in a ride vehicle, and I think it's going to be screen-based. But there's also going to be some practical effects, and you're going to be shooting webs, I think. You're going to be shooting webs at little spider robots.
Yeah, I'm interested to know if that's going to be like Toy Story Midway Mania in the shooting technology, or if they have come up with something completely new.
I can't remember. Does this include 3D technology or not? I don't think it is 3D based.
I'm not sure.
My guess is that it's not.
They haven't released a ton of information yet.
But what's interesting is that this is the first Disney ride-through attraction to feature Spider-Man.
I know. That's very exciting.
And it's about time. They've been doing a great job working in collaboration with Sony to bring us really compelling Spider-Man movies. So I'm excited to see where they go with this attraction.
Yeah, they've really groomed a really well-done Spider-Man story and actor.
Do you want to talk more about the actor, Patrick? I know you do.
Do you mean Tom Holland?
I mean Tom Holland, Patrick. I mean Tom Holland in skin-tight Lycra.
Keep going.
He doesn't have a British accent in the movie, but you know he actually does in real life.
Which is just very compelling to me.
It is. Anything else you want to say about Tom Holland?
If you're listening, slip into my DMs, Tommy. Tommy H.
Tommy. I can guarantee you he does not like being called Tommy.
Well, he will.
Phase 1 of Avengers Campus also includes Pym Test Kitchen, which will be a quick service restaurant featuring what? Very large food made very small?
And the opposite.
And the opposite. I don't know.
I think it's cool.
I'm curious.
Yeah. I think it'll be whimsical, if anything.
It better be delicious, too.
Well, it's in Disneyland, so
You're right.
Odds are.
You're right. Phase 1 will also include Avengers Headquarters, which may feature some type of show on its roof. We're not quite sure about that yet. But the building will house a Quinjet attraction when Phase 2 opens.
So excited about that.
Phase 1 of Avengers Campus will also include encounters with Black Widow, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Doctor Strange, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and superheroes from Wakanda, Asgard, and Iron Man.
Amazing.
So I think this is just going to be a really thrilling addition to DCA. It's going to be fun to have a Marvel-themed land, even though we can't call it a Marvel-themed land.
Right.
And I think that Spider-Man attraction is going to be a really big draw.
Oh, 100% it will be.
Just for you, I'm talking about.
100% it will be.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a lovely number 4, Adam.
Thank you so much.
I have a feeling that this is going to be the rest of the episode, Adam saying everything before me.
No, I don't think so.
Because number 3 for me is Avengers Campus in Disneyland.
I'm a little bit surprised that this made your list.
Why?
Honestly. I mean, I know it's very big and very exciting. But I don't think of you necessarily as like a big Marvel fan, but I guess you are.
Oh.
You are. You're more of a Marvel fan than you are a Star Wars fan.
That's
aren't you?
absolutely correct.
Okay, so never mind. I'm not shocked at all that this is on your list.
Are you surprised and shocked because it's sort of a cerebral storytelling version of action movies, Adam? Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised that you could grasp what they're going for there.
That doesn't surprise me that you would say that about me. Adam's certain that I only enjoy unicorns and glitter and Mickey Mouse and nothing else. And Adam only enjoys the smart things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No, I'm incredibly excited about this. In fact, I almost lost my mind when did you see the end of the Imagineering story?
Yes.
Where they shot that robot into the air and it did some acrobatics.
Yeah.
What the what?
Yeah.
And they referenced that they were going to be using this possibly in Avengers Campus in Disneyland.
Yeah, I bet they're going to try to incorporate this into like the show that's happening above Avengers headquarters.
Yes, what I took from that is that they're going to have a lot of meet and greets with some characters, and then there's also going to be some stunt shows happening throughout the day, which is incredibly exciting and sort of what they used to do in Disney World and Disneyland, like in Frontierland. They used to have like gunfights on top of the buildings.
Yeah.
So this seems like a callback to that type of storytelling.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited about it. So, and everything else you said about Avengers Campus is exactly what I would have said, so well done. And that's my number 3. And I clearly love Avengers more than you do, Adam, because I put it at number 3. So put that in your cup of tea and drink it.
I think you love Tom Holland more than you love Marvel and the Avengers. And that's why it's your number 3.
It's definitely 50-50 for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's all about Tommy.
Tommy, can you hear me?
Moving on to my number 3, I'm taking us back to media.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to visit Disney Plus.
Interesting.
Because I'm looking forward to Ink and Paint.
Oh, of course.
For those that don't know, Ink and Paint is an 8-episode documentary series that is based on the book Ink and Paint, The Women of Walt Disney's Animation, and it's written by Mindy Johnson. And the book kind of takes a Hidden Figures look at a number of women who made many of the Disney animated classics possible with little or no recognition for their work. Patrick, I think this series could be so compelling.
Mm-hmm.
And with the success of the Imagineering story on Disney Plus, I can only imagine that true Disney fans will be completely invested in watching this when it comes out.
I think anybody would like this, even if you're not already a big Disney fan. I think it's going to be a very compelling story to watch.
So a little bit of a backstory for those that don't know. For a long time at Walt Disney Studios, women were kind of regulated to the ink and paint department. Mm-hmm. And so they were basically applying the paint to the cells after the animators were rendering them. And the reasoning behind it was that women had more of a hand for like applying color because they wore makeup.
I mean, that just makes sense, you know?
They should have reached out to drag queens, is what they should have done.
But that would have been even more illegal.
Scandalous.
Illegal is what I was going to say.
So it's about time that the women who did this incredibly detailed, incredibly intricate work got some recognition. And I know that the documentary series team has already interviewed a number of the women who worked in the ink and paint department, including a woman who's like 110 years old.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I think this is going to be incredibly moving, and I'm going to cry a lot.
It's also exciting to think about how this series will examine not only the work that the women did for the studio, but also what happened to them outside of the studio, because I'm sure they'll examine like their everyday lives as well.
Right, and then I went home and had to put dinner on the table and feed all the kids and clothe them. And yeah, absolutely.
While my husband was at war, you know, like all these really kind of interesting backstories that we won't know about.
Or he was watching football. He was very busy.
Or that. He could not be bothered.
That's probably correct.
So there is no release date set yet for Ink and Paint. And it might not even come out in 2020, but I'm taking a shot.
Oh, dear.
I'm swinging big. I'm saying this is going to come out in 2020, and I can't wait to watch it.
I have a feeling many of our Tweedledees will be watching with you.
In my apartment.
Many.
Come on over, Tweedledees. Bring snacks. Bring lots of snacks and wine.
And probably some tissues. It's going to be a real sad, sad story.
It will be.
And empowering, though.
It will.
It's time, I think, to move on to our number 2 Fab Five delights in 2020, Adam.
Oh, delights.
Delights in 2020.
I love it.
Keep it light, keep it delight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That didn't work.
No.
But this is going to work, Adam. I'm talking about Remy's Ratatouille Adventure in Epcot.
Remy's finally getting some recognition in the States.
It's about time.
Yes.
Although he's been sort of the mascot for Food and Wine the past couple years.
That's true. And there was the most adorable mini Remy animatronic.
Do you mean miniature or do you mean Minnie Mouse as Remy?
Well, now I want to see that, but I mean miniature.
Got it.
I guess it was actually like life-size, wasn't it? Because Remy's a mouse.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, but there was one that used to be carted around Chefs de France in the France Pavilion.
Cute.
France.
You're so regal.
France.
It should be noted, though, Adam, that Remy is a rat and not a mouse. We can't all be mice like Mickey.
We can in 2020 because it's the year of the mouse, not the year of the rat.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Remy must be so upset about that.
He's furious.
He's furious. But he can celebrate now because he has his own ride in Epcot.
Yay!
Opening in summer of 2020 in the France Pavilion, as Adam likes to say. This will be a trackless, dark ride, and they shrink you down to the size of a rat in a race through Gusteau's kitchen. So it's unclear if it's an exact replica of the ride in Paris, but it seems like it's very similar at least. And if it is, it'll combine 3D film on room-sized screens with practical set pieces that include water and heat effects. And when Remy opens, it'll be the first all-new, built-from-the-ground-up major attraction in Epcot in more than a decade. Of course, Frozen is fairly new, but that was a reimagined ride, keeping the same general structure and path of the previous ride.
This is an excellent choice, Patrick. I'm so looking forward to it. Everyone who's been to Disneyland Paris raves about this ride. Mm-hmm. I know there's a lot of people who consider this their favorite Disney attraction of all time.
Oh, for sure.
So I can't wait to experience it this summer.
Yeah, I love this movie so much, and I'm glad that it's getting some bigger recognition in the form of an attraction.
It's really fun to be small, Patrick, isn't it?
Wow.
You would know.
You gave a resolution that you were not going to use small jokes?
No, I said I was apologizing.
You're right. You pre-apologized.
I was just apologizing for all the small jokes.
That you would eventually tell.
Yeah.
There we go. There's number one, you guys.
But you know what I mean? It's fun to have like giant sets around you. Mm-hmm. Kind of like the old Honey, I Shrunk the Kids attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fun to be around really exaggerated set pieces like that and to feel like you're really tiny.
You'll finally see things the way I see them, Adam.
I'll have a newfound sense of compassion for you. I'll be like, wow.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
a real struggle.
And I'll just have a panic attack because everything's going to be so much bigger than it needs to be for me.
Just that much larger for you. Yeah. I wonder if this is going to be similar to the Amazing Spider-Man attraction at Universal Studios. Because you're in a ride vehicle and you're kind of going from screen to screen, but there's also practical effects involved. I'm sure that this will be much more immersive.
Yeah.
But I'm getting that kind of vibe from this attraction.
Yeah, it'll be less of a thrill ride, though, I think.
Will it?
Who knows? That would be weird if it wasn't, but you never know. You never know.
And can you imagine if Tom Holland was also in this attraction?
I'm imagining it right now, and I'm into it.
All right. That was a great choice, Patrick, and it almost made my list as well.
I know. I'm correct.
You're correct. All right, moving on to my number 2 Fab Five thing I'm most looking forward to in 2020. My number 2 is Harmonious.
Ooh, good choice.
Thank you so much. Harmonious is the largest nighttime spectacular ever created for a Disney park, and of course it's coming to Epcot. It will replace the poorly named Epcot Forever, which has a very limited window.
It sounds like you're saying it's going to replace Epcot, forever.
It's not. It better not. Harmonious will celebrate how the music of Disney inspires people all over the world, carrying you away harmoniously on a stream of familiar Disney tunes reinterpreted by a diverse group of artists from around the globe. In short, we're getting Disney IP in a nighttime spectacular in Epcot with a global influence.
Well said. Well said, Adam.
Thank you so much.
That was very poetic of you.
Disney should hire me to write these blurbs. Harmonious will feature massive floating set pieces, custom-built LED panels, choreographed moving fountains, lights, pyrotechnics, lasers, and more.
I'm glad you said and more because I was like, is that all?
That's all. That's it.
That wasn't enough.
I'm so excited to experience this, particularly after experiencing World of Color in Disneyland. Because I can only imagine they're going to employ that same kind of technology for the water effects in Harmonious.
I'm excited to see this from that peak you're going to be able to stand on that looks over the World Showcase. What's it called? Like Lover's Lane or something? It had a weird name to it.
You mean like the new festival center that they're building behind Spaceship Earth?
Yes. Apparently there's going to be a top level that you can look over the park from. I wonder if that'll be a Fast Pass location.
Yes, you're going to have to pay $150.43, Patrick, to access that level.
You're not wrong, probably. I'll do it, though. That'll be an incredible view.
As we previously mentioned on the podcast, Harmonious will feature music by composer Pinar Toprak.
It's true. She's very talented. She was recently featured on an episode of the podcast Four Scores.
Yes.
I love that podcast. I love ours more, but I love that one just less than ours.
Okay. It's believed that Harmonious will premiere in May 2020, but I've also read that it could possibly be October 2020.
Oh, dear.
And given the issues they had opening Rivers of Light in Animal Kingdom...
This is a 2022 opening, isn't it?
Let's just assume that it's going to be delayed.
Yeah.
But let's hope for a May 2020 opening.
A new hope, if you will.
I just can't imagine the amount of work that has to go on underneath World Showcase Lagoon in order to get like moving LED screens and the water jets set up.
It's crazy. When I saw photos of when they were refurbing World of Color, when it was shut down for a while, the amount of like cannons and lights and things that were underneath the mechanics, incredible and a little terrifying.
I saw it. I saw it in person.
It's crazy town.
The amount of technology that has to go on underwater and how that can be maintained without like electrocuting everyone in the park. I don't know. I don't know
how it works. Must be magic.
So that's my number 2 choice for Fab Five things I'm most looking forward to in 2020, Harmonious at Epcot.
A wonderful choice, Adam.
Thank you.
Moving on to number 1. We're here already.
It's the big moment.
Looks like we've made it.
I have to resist the urge to go, easy like Sunday morning. I don't know why I always want to combine those two songs, but I do.
I wish you would never do that again.
Are they the same song?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah. See, my mind thinks they're the same song.
Your mind is fascinating. So I think it will come as no surprise to our Tweedledees and to you that my number 1 will be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yes.
I think I might be, I'm going to get hate mail for this, more excited to ride this ride than I am for Rise of the Resistance.
No, I totally get that.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So the fact that this will be the first ride to feature Mickey Mouse is a little mind-boggling to me. I have incredibly high hopes for it, as I've said, and I have a feeling that because Mickey is front and center in this attraction, we're in for some incredible game-changing tech when it comes to how they manipulate what we see. What we've seen so far is very little, but it looks incredible, mind-blowing, and that they're using 3D technology with no 3D glasses. I don't understand it, I guess, is what it is.
They're calling it 2.5D.
Right, which is also another way to call our episodes when we have a full-grown adult guest hosting with us. So it's you two, and I'm the half D.
2.5D. We got to pitch that sitcom to CBS.
2.5 Ds. Thursdays on CBS. Oh, I can't wait to see the fan art for that. I'm also willing to bet that this ride is going to have longer lines in it than Galaxy's Edge due to A, its location, and B, that it'll be an e-ticket ride for guests of all ages.
Right.
So I think it's just going to draw in huge, huge numbers.
I wonder if they're going to implement some kind of boarding pass situation for this ride when it opens as well.
I would not be surprised if that isn't the way they're going to just do it from now on, which is not far off from what they do in Disneyland already.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is my number 1 Disney item that I'm looking most forward to in 2020.
That was a brave choice, Patrick.
Uh-oh.
Not many people are going to be into that.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yep.
Well, my number 1 choice for the thing that I'm most looking forward to in 2020...
I'm on the edge of my seat.
...is the new Lizzie McGuire series on Disney+. Why are you laughing? Why?
Because it's going to be so much fun to not be friends with you anymore, if that's accurate.
Well, it is accurate. No, it's not accurate. My number 1 is also Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Oh, it is?
Of course. Yes, of course it is. I can't wait for this ride.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for it.
Sorry I stole it from you.
No, you didn't. You're sharing it with all.
Oh, I like the way you think.
For those listeners that don't know, the story behind the ride is that Mickey and Minnie are taking a leisurely drive to a picnic in their sporty roadster.
So sporty.
With Engineer Goofy's train following merrily along. Plot twist, you get to go too, Patrick.
What?
Guests climb aboard on a runaway railway and embark on a whirlwind ride through a world where the rules of physics don't apply. Prepare for unexpected twists, slapstick gags, and mind-boggling transformations at every turn as Mickey and Minnie try to save the day.
I like that I was so excited about this ride that I forgot to describe what it was to all of our Tweedledees out there, but I imagine they already knew. But thank you for doing your homework, Adam.
It needed to be read, and I read it, Patrick.
Thank you so much.
Also, Patrick, did you know that this ride contains more hidden Mickeys than any other attraction or area in Disney?
I was just going to say, can you imagine the amount of hidden Mickeys that are going to be there?
The Imagineers must have had a blast, like just putting in hidden Mickeys wherever they possibly could.
What if it's so many that it's just like, okay.
Right, it could be.
It.
It could be. Like every moment is a hidden Mickey.
Look, that bush is a hidden Mickey.
Oh, Mickey's a hidden Mickey. Does that count?
Mickey's wearing a hidden Mickey on his hickey.
Mickey's wearing a hidden Mickey on his hide-a-hickey dicky.
You mean clothing item dicky, don't you? What? 2.5 Ds.
Yeah, I think what you said, Patrick, about the level of technology in this ride is going to blow us away. And I'm really excited to see how they incorporate practical effects, too. Like, I know there's animatronics in this ride. So it's like screens, animatronics, set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's going to be a ton of movement for it all. And there's an original song composed just for the ride, which is also excellent.
Very cool, very cool. I wonder if they're thinking ahead to be able to change out the story when they want to.
Yeah.
That will be fascinating to discover as time goes on with this ride.
And it's so overdue. The fact that this is Mickey's first attraction, Mickey and Minnie, and really the gang's first attraction in a Disney park.
Yeah.
It's about time, and it's going to be so exciting to experience it.
It is about time, but it goes to show you how high they hold Mickey Mouse in regard, in that they didn't want to do it unless they were sure they had something that was going to be worth doing. At least I hope that's what they've done here.
I hope so, too. I mean, it's already been delayed, the opening.
Right.
We've heard that there's been some technical issues with the ride, but I'm hoping that part of the delay, too, is just getting it right and ensuring that it's right for when the ride actually opens, right? Like, we don't want there to be all this fanfare and build-up again, and then to have the ride kind of break down every couple of hours.
Right. You can't do Mickey Mouse wrong.
Yeah, I picture Bob Iger in a boardroom just, like, slamming his fist on the table, like, this is our first Mickey attraction. We have to get it right.
Right, for sure. I bet he's very handsome when he does that, though.
Oh, yeah, handsome anger.
He's a good-looking dude.
He is good-looking. I think so, too. And he's so rich.
That's part of it.
So rich.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's the same word for me.
Well, Patrick, we did an excellent job on this.
If we do say so ourselves.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. We covered a lot.
Yeah. Did you have a tough time whittling it down to 5 things you're looking forward to?
I did vacillate back and forth between Soul and Mulan for the movie I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Because they're both, I think, going to be really amazing movies.
Yeah.
I also considered Onward as well. It just didn't quite make the cut for me because I'm not sure yet what to think of that movie.
Sure, yeah.
And I wanted to include generically all of the Avengers shows we're going to get on Disney+.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for those.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know enough about them yet to really speak to them. What about you?
It was tough, and I will admit, and I'm ashamed to admit this, that at first I only thought about Disney World.
Yeah.
Like the things coming to Disney World, because I think Disney World gets more press. And quite frankly, there's just more coming to Disney World in 2020.
And we've been there far more often.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I started to explore what's coming to Disneyland, I was like, wow, there's actually quite a bit coming to Disneyland, too.
Absolutely. They're getting a new parade, too, aren't they?
It hurt me. I had to cut that from my list.
I thought that was going to make your list.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. It's called Magic Happens.
Mm-hmm.
It features floats from Coco, Frozen 2, Sleeping Beauty, and it has an original theme song composed by Todrick Hall.
It's true. That Frozen float looks amazing.
It really does. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to sneak this on to the podcast. Like I'm adding it to my list. I'm not doing that at all.
But here's another 7 minutes about the Magic Happens parade.
Yeah, that's really going to be incredible, and I can't wait to see it in Disneyland. It opens February 28th.
Okay, so you got a Fab 6. Sensational 6.
Listen, I just made some notes about it just in case I felt compelled to talk about it last minute.
Got it. Anything else you want to share with us, Adam?
Just briefly, I'd like to touch on Behind the Attraction on Disney+.
Oh my goodness.
Which is the new 10-episode documentary series coming about attractions in Disney parks.
Okay, I was joking, but do you have anything else you want to talk about, Adam?
That's the last one.
Okay.
There's no release date on that yet, so sit tight, folks.
All right. Well, now that Adam has mentioned everything that's happening in 2020 as though it were D23 all over again.
I'm Bob Chapek. I'm at D23. I'm making all these announcements.
Wow.
You're hearing it here first.
Wow. Aggressive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'd rather hear, Adam?
What's that?
Our Tweedledee's Fab Five lists of things they're looking forward to in 2020.
I would love to hear those lists.
Yeah, anything but your extended list.
I think I've covered it all, but...
There's a director's cut coming. I know there is.
No, of course, Tweedledees, if you want to reach out to us, we would love to hear from you. You can send us your list to our social media at GDTD Podcast.
Or leave us a voice memo or email at info@gazedothed.com. So I think we know two of these things are probably going to be delayed until 2021. Adam, which ones?
Two?
Yeah, I'm being optimistic about it.
You certainly are. You certainly are.
Which ones are they?
Harmonious.
Yeah.
Harmonious is going to be delayed.
That sounds right.
And I think the Lizzie McGuire series on Disney+.
Here's hoping. Here's hoping. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
What's up?
Can we have a sidebar just for a moment?
No.
I never know how to respond to the phrase, what's up?
Oh.
And this, I know it's awkward to bring this up right now, but I just never know how to, like, what do I say? Like, we're recording a podcast? Because I think it's evident that we're recording a podcast.
I feel very attacked right now. This is a really awkward time to bring it up, Adam, while we're recording.
And if I say not much, I think it belittles our podcasting process.
Well, it belittles what you have going on in your life.
Well, and that's accurate, but that's accurate. Not much.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm doing right now in my free time in my life?
No.
I'm playing a game called Dream Daddy on my phone.
Oh, my.
It's a role-playing game.
Uh-huh.
And I've created a character named Brick Manley.
Oh, boy.
And I'm a single dad with a daughter named Amanda.
This is a lot.
And I've just moved to a new part of town.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going on a bunch of dates with some hot anime dudes.
Oh, I've got a bag full of questions about that. I now know that I should never ask you what's up again because I'm frankly afraid of the monologue that's about to happen.
Oh, what am I doing with my life?
But beyond that, Adam, what's up?
Oh, not much, Patrick. What's up with you?
You know what? It's time for Quick D. That's what's up, Adam.
Okay, great.
That, by the way, is the answer to what's up.
It's time for Quick D.
There it is.
Noted.
There it is. He can be taught, folks. Of course, for those who don't know, Quick D is when Adam and I ask each other a question off the cuff that we've not been privy to prior to recording, and we try not to go down a rabbit hole of what Adam's playing on his phone.
Brick Manley wears a tight
Here it
white
is.
t-shirt.
And that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening.
And he has rippling pecs and a full beard and black glasses.
You were describing Brick Manley, not Amanda?
No, my daughter's actually quite lovely.
Oh.
And she's about to go away to college, and I'm very heartbroken about it.
I'm very concerned that we're never going to move on to Quick D.
I think she might be a lesbian in the game, but she hasn't told me yet.
Yep, but we're not getting there, are we?
All right, Quick D.
Wow. That was a real journey we went on, folks, and I want to apologize for that.
Quick D Classic, Patrick.
Quick D Classic. Who's asking who first? I can't remember because, as we all know, I don't listen to our episodes.
I'll go first.
Fantastic.
All right, Patrick, here's my Quick D question for you.
Hit me with your Quick D.
Patrick.
Yes?
We just did a Fab Five segment in which we listed everything we're looking forward to, or at least 5 things we're looking forward to in 2020.
Correct.
What are you looking forward to in Disney parks and media in 3020?
That is a real great question, Adam.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to Harmonious coming out in the year 3020.
Oh, that's when it's finally going to come out.
Yeah, It's been delayed for a long time.
A few years. Just a few.
I like to believe that we're both alive still.
How?
Well, we're both looking forward to this coming out in 3020.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So somehow we've survived.
Interesting.
Whatever killed all of our other Tweedledees, we've survived it.
I like to think we paid Disney to somehow insert our souls into the Spider-Man animatronic stunt figure we saw at the end of the Imagineering story.
I'm going to insert something into that Tom Holland stunt figure.
And Quick D just got real interesting.
I meant my interest, Adam. I'm going to insert my interest.
That's what I was
show.
thinking too.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
what I was thinking too.
Okay. What else is happening in the year 3020? Well, I'm looking forward to all of the peanut butter crispy treat pills that we'll be swallowing.
Yeah.
That will taste just like the real thing.
But make you leaner than you actually are.
Yeah, it's just
leaner
water pills.
and more fit. I love it.
It's water protein pills.
I heard that those are actually going to be featured in Disney's 43rd Gate that will be opening in Orlando that year.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm looking forward to the Hall of Presidents with the newest president, Blue Hydrangea Apple Harmony. great granddaughter of both Gwyneth Paltrow and Beyonce.
The technology was possible.
Yeah.
It's there now. What a stunning person that would be. And also very annoying.
But so healthy.
Yeah.
And such a wonderful head of hair.
Can you imagine the ego on that person, though?
That was the platform that she ran on.
Her ego? Or his. I don't know. I don't know the gender of this child.
It's going to be the first woman president, sadly.
Oh, no. That is too late.
Oh,
that is too late.
And too soon for that joke, I think.
Yeah, that one hurts.
And of course, I'm looking forward to Disneyland Saturn.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes.
And their slogan will be Ring Around the D because of the rings of Saturn.
My mind went to venereal disease. Like, there's a couple rings around your D. You might want to get that looked at.
Wow. This is a real enlightening quick D.
What kind of magical express is going to take you to Saturn?
It's going to be a great glass elevator, Adam. Full of chocolate.
Oh, delicious. Chocolate pills.
Chocolate pills to swallow.
Wow. Some really exciting things to look forward to in 3020.
Thank you so much.
And Bob Iger, who thinks he's going to retire. He'll still be around.
I hope so. I really love what he's doing. Adam, let's move on to my question for you.
Okay.
As you know, I'm currently in Disney World.
Yes.
When this episode will air.
Yes.
What pictures have I sent you that you're so upset about? Describe them, please.
Oh, Patrick, what have you done? What have you done?
Is what you'll be saying as soon as you open your phone.
That's right.
Got it.
I was real surprised to open up my text messages and see a picture of you wearing the chandelier from the Enchanted Rose at the Grand Floridian.
Am I wearing it or swinging from it?
You are wearing it.
Okay, good. That is correct.
You've always wanted to wear Belle's ball gown. And this is the next best thing, an interpretation of it.
This might be the first best thing.
First best thing. So glittery.
So shiny.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing only that.
Did I even need to bring that up?
No, you're right.
Everybody knew. Everybody was imagining it. So I'm disappointed, Patrick.
Oh, no.
Disappointed in that.
Why?
But then I opened up my text messages and was shocked to see a photo of you scaling Cinderella Castle and breaking into the Dream Suite.
Is that surprising?
That it was not the first picture that you sent me was what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I think what you were most surprised about was that it was a selfie as well.
The talent you have.
I'm so good.
Yeah. Free solo. Climbing that castle.
I can do it.
But that was not the most shocking pic you sent me. Because lo and behold, following that picture was a picture of you in Ample Hills Creamery spreading every single one of their flavors all over your Ample Hills.
How very dare you.
And making everyone watch while you do it.
I was trying to serve ice cream like a naked sushi situation.
How is that going to happen on your warm body?
We found out it won't.
It won't. It won't. They had to call a hazmat team, Patrick.
That peanut butter ice cream gets into places you didn't want it to be.
No.
I mean, I wanted it to be there, but you didn't want it to be there so explicitly in that photo.
Correct. And just when I thought things couldn't get any more shocking, Patrick, I open up my text messages, and what do I see? I see a picture of you with the tumble monkeys from the Festival of the Lion King at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Sorry about it.
And you were forcing them into the shape of a Mickey pretzel.
It was not difficult to do. They're very bendy.
And you were eating them.
I mean, that cheese tastes so good.
Ugh, what?
Wait. When licked off of a tumble monkey.
No.
What? I can't say that?
You can say it. And you can do it.
But I shouldn't take a picture of it and send it to you?
I would not do that.
I'd like to apologize, but they were so delicious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What a snack.
No food and sex.
What a snack.
No. That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast, and submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.